You know, Bosham Village is one of the most beautiful in England. It's one of the oldest, too. In fact, King Canute's daughter is buried in the churchyard back there. Well, that's where I was when this happened. How did it happen? I'm afraid your guess is as good as mine. My car was the only one in the parking lot when I arrived. And it still is. Maybe a sea serpent hit it. Or an irate yachtsman. Or maybe it was the ghost of King Canute.
Excuse me. Is this your car?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm most dreadfully sorry. You see, I always turn my car around here because High Street's so narrow, but, well, I can't imagine how I hit you.
But you did manage, didn't you?
I'm afraid so.
Amazing.
Yes, isn't it? With all this space. Of course, I'll be only too happy to pay for any damage. My name is Florence Warshed. I live at Rose Cottage, Smuggler's Lane.
Florence Warshed. We met somewhere before.
No, no, never.
Your face is very familiar. My name's Simon Templar.
Not the famous Simon Templar.
Guess who?
Simon!
I'm glad you said that, but you shouldn't have turned around.
It's wonderful to see you.
Wonderful to see you, too. Joe?
Hello, sir.
Can I have a room?
There's always room for you, Mr. Templar.
And 2 more of those. Martinis?
Coming right up.
Oh, I don't know. Every time I see you, you're more beautiful than the last time. How do you do it?
Sailing and martinis. Now, tell me, what brings you to Bosham Village?
A, I wanted to get out of London for a few days. B, I wanted to do some sailing. And C, I wanted to see you.
Why didn't you let me know?
I might have changed my mind at the last minute and gone to China instead.
Did you drive down?
Yes, oh, incidentally, some sweet old girl in the village just bashed in my headlamp. What's the best local garage?
Charlie Butterworth's. But, tell me, who was this sweet old girl?
Miss Florence Warshed.
What, again? No, Kathleen introduced me. I've met some of the most charming people by trailing the cars Florence has wrecked.
Simon Templar, Commander George Marsh.
How do you do, sir? Nice meeting you.
George is, Florence's lawyer.
Yeah, so you see, my interest is practical. Of course, she offered to pay for the damage, didn't she?
Well, she was very decent.
Yeah, she always is.
I gather she makes a habit of going around wrecking cars.
Poor Flo. She and her 2 sisters are absolute darlings, quite the sweetest people around here. Except in a car, when they behave like raving lunatics and I have to clear up all their little mistakes. Mark you, it isn't that they speed. It's just that they're far too interested in everything and everybody to look where they're going.
Well, there's nothing to worry about. It's just a smashed headlamp.
Oh, well, that's fine. But I'll tell them. I'm dining with them tonight.
Good morning, Commander.
Morning.
Well, what'll you have?
Well, it's very kind of you. Pint of bitter, please, dear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dear.
Oh, thanks, sir.
How long do I have to wait for a little service?
I'm sorry, sir. What can I do for you?
Can I have a room and a bath for tonight?
Just for tonight, sir?
Well, possibly. I'm not sure yet.
Will you come this way, sir? I'll give you a change in a minute, sir.
Oh, that's all right. You have one yourself, Joe.
Thank you, sir. This way.
Who's he, George?
No idea. He doesn't look like a yachting type, does he?
They'd probably paint.
Simon, you must meet the rest of the Warshed sisters before you leave. They're a sort of, town institution. Florence, Violet, and Ida.
Oh, so Florence, Violet, and Ida. Cheers.
Cheers.
I simply adore roast beef.
So does George, when it isn't overcooked. I wonder what can be keeping Flo. She promised to be home at 7 o'clock, and it's nearly past.
She'll be here.
Well, you know what she's like when she's driving.
Don't worry. Fetch me the salad bowl.
Do you think we should call the police? She's so casual in that car.
Casual or not, the last thing anyone does in this house is phone the police.
I don't know whatever made me suggest it.
It's all right, dear. Forget it.
I have. I put it right out of my life, as if it had never happened.
It's all right, dear. Cut me some celery.
Ida,
Yes, dear?
do you think Flo will ever marry George Marsh?
She can't. If she married him, she'd have to tell him the truth. It's as simple as that. So she can't.
Surely, dear, after all these years,
We couldn't risk it.
I suppose you're right. It's such a pity. George is an absolute darling, and poor Flo is so fond of him.
Poor Flo is old enough to control herself.
I wish she'd get here. I have a terrible feeling that something's happened to her. There she is. Where have you been?
You know George will be here any minute.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
We were worried.
Did you bring the garlic?
Where have you been?
I had an accident.
Oh, no.
Again?
Well, only a small one. It was a broken headlamp.
Well, why worry?
Pound or two?
No, it's not that.
What?
What then?
It's the man who owned the car.
Who?
Simon Templar.
The saint.
Yes. And the awful thing is he recognized me.
Are you sure?
Oh, dear.
Well, he said he thought he'd seen me before.
But he wasn't certain.
Not positive, no.
Well, we can hope, can't we?
It's all we can do. In the meantime, you better go and get dressed. George will be here any minute. Charlie Butterworth.
Ladies.
Oh, Charlie, you're drunk.
Charlie, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed of me? When I just become a daddy to 3 lovely little girls?
No,
Triplets! Yeah, well, if it's 3 of them, it's triplets.
How marvellous. Your poor wife.
Well, Bessie, like shelling peas. And do you know what we're going to do? Because Miss Flo had 17 accidents last year and brought me in so much business, we're going to name our little girls after you 3. Yeah, that's absolutely final, what we're going to do. Florence, Violet, and Ida.
Isn't that sweet?
Darling.
Just wanted to let you know the good news. Now, I must go on and celebrate with the boys.
Well,
Isn't that sweet? Named after us.
3 little girls.
Adorable.
Poor Bessie Butterworth.
Oh, my goodness, yes, she's all alone except for the midwife. Look, you two, take the car, go down there and see if there's anything we can do. And you better take some fruit and a cheque.
How much?
£100.
Oh, no, that's much too much. Makes people curious. No, you better make it 50.
Oh, Flo, you're so wise.
But what about George?
Well, I can look after George and the dinner. Go on, off you go. Go on.
Of course.
There are 3 women, all between 50 and 55, and they probably moved here about 10 years ago.
Are they related? Excuse me. The Warshed sisters moved here 10 years ago.
Sisters? Yes, possibly. How do I find them?
Well, it's rather late now. Are you a friend of theirs?
Do you happen to know their address?
Well, I'm sure you'll find them in the directory.
Oh, thank you, miss. Thank you very much.
Peculiar, isn't he?
He's a rum one, no mistake.
What makes you think he's a painter, Simon?
Oh, you know me. I'm a very serious student of human nature.
Adorable. Darling.
We mustn't disturb them, must we?
No, of course.
I'll tell Mrs. Butterworth how sweet and kind you've been. But she's just had her sedation, so she won't wake up until morning. She's perfectly fine, and there's nothing at all to worry about.
I'm so glad.
Except Charlie, he's having a booze up.
I can manage Charlie. Now, off you go now. We may call tomorrow, only between 2 and 4. We must let Mrs. Butterworth get her rest, mustn't we?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, it was nothing, really. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. What absolute darlings.
at last. Well, it's been a long time.
It's Freddie. What are you doing here?
Visiting you. Put some lights on. Well, isn't this cozy? And what a time I've had chasing you three down. You've no idea the trouble I've taken. This is lovely. I like reunions, don't you?
Freddie, what is it you want? All right, let's get to the point, Freddie.
Alfred, not Freddie. Alfred Poles. It's rather a nice name, don't you think? Alfred Poles. Sophisticated, yet solid and respectable, like me. It's fine port, this.
Well, now that you've drunk it, you can go. Freddie, either get to the point or get out. We want to go to bed.
I think we should call the police.
But just this afternoon.
Go ahead, call them.
Well, what is it that you want? Money?
Of course.
How much?
Well, I haven't decided. But for a start, say, £50.
But we haven't got that much in the house.
Tomorrow will do.
But tomorrow's Sunday.
And the banks are closed.
Someone around here will cash a check. You're well known and your credit's good.
Flo, it won't stop at 50.
No.
No, it won't. You see, I have expensive tastes. And a yearning for peace in a quiet little spot by the sea. Like this one. Our house is very expensive around here.
Flo, there's going to be none of that.
But have you got a better idea?
Ladies, please, don't quarrel over me. I'm not hard to please. A small cottage will do. A reasonable income, say £2,000 a year. A little car, nothing flashy, and a housekeeper. I see myself in the role of retired gentleman with 3 dear, gracious ladies nearby who are old friends, charming friends. It's a pleasant prospect, don't you think?
Freddie,
Alfred, please.
Alfred, we can't afford it.
You dirty rat.
And now I'd...
Well, he is. You dirty, filthy blackmailer. I'd like to see you dead, floating in the harbor.
Well, thank you, Miss Jean Benson, for those kind words.
Ida, calm down.
Calm down while this dirty monster threatens to tell everyone the truth, ruin our reputations, lose our homes. You despicable pig.
I won't forget that. You've just added £1,000 to the cost of my house. And don't forget my 50. I'll call for it at noon tomorrow. Good night, Miss Edith Cooper. And to you, Miss Ethel Scott.
Oh,
Now, don't cry, dear. He isn't worth it.
but what are we going to do?
I know. Let's sell out and go to Switzerland or somewhere.
Oh, yes, let's. The first thing in the morning.
No, Violet.
I couldn't face people, Flo. I couldn't. Please, let's run away.
But Violet, we've made a life here, and it's a good one. And we're not youngsters anymore. We can't just suddenly uproot ourselves and go running about all over the world like frightened rabbits. No. All we can do is pay.
That dirty rat?
Ida, let's be sensible. Now, look, he wants us to buy him a cottage. We'll say £5,000. All right, we can afford that. And then he wants £2,000 a year. Well, we can afford that, too. And as long as he sticks to his bargain, we'll stick to ours.
And if he doesn't?
He won't.
Well, if he doesn't, we must think again. But in the meantime, don't let's do anything hasty that we might regret later. Come on. Come on, let's go to bed.
I've always been afraid that this would happen. That one day the past would catch up with us. Oh, Ida.
No, then, don't worry. Come on, dear.
Oh, dear.
Come on. There now.
Such industry working on a Sunday morning, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I have some things I got to catch up on.
Oh, you've got time to catch up on some lunch, too?
Give me 5 minutes.
Well, I must admit that even for 5 minutes, watching other people work is one of the greatest pleasures of my life.
Now, you do have others.
Mm-hmm. So do you. Thank goodness.
Now, 5 minutes of work and no talking.
Really, you have a very beautiful and desirable mouth. I'll watch that. Or maybe I'll watch the freckle on the tip of your nose.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for a house.
Well, it is Sunday. I'm afraid we're closed. Unless...
You go ahead, don't mind me.
Would you like to sit down?
Thank you.
A house or a cottage, to rent or buy?
Just a cottage to buy.
Can you give me some idea of your price range?
Oh, I say around £5,000. I don't want a big place. I'm retired.
From what?
My business. I'd like to look at something today if I could.
Oh, I have something here that might interest you. Harbour Cottage in Sea Road. Has 3 bedrooms, a bathroom, a nice kitchen, living room and dining room, and a very pretty garden. 4,750. Or here's one, Lookout Cottage in Smuggler's Lane.
Smuggler's Lane? Near the warsheds?
Yes, just down the road from them. It's a little above your price there, I'm afraid. 5,600.
Oh, no, I like it. The odd 600 won't bother me if it's really nice. When could I look over it?
Well, maybe this afternoon. Can you give me your name?
Poles. Alfred Poles.
Did you manage to get in touch with the warsheds last night?
Yes, we had quite a pleasant reunion. I knew them years ago.
May I use them as a reference, then?
Yes, of course. I'm sure they'll vouch for me.
Thank you, then, Mr. Poles. I'll leave a message about Lookout Cottage. I hope you like it.
I have a feeling I like it very much. Thank you and good day.
Good day. Now, I wonder where you knew the Warshed sisters.
Where do they come from?
I don't know now that you mention it. They've become such a town fixture, I've never even thought about it.
You have an envelope to fit these.
Yes, why?
Can I have one?
Yes, but I don't understand.
Thanks.
Why, Aunt Flo, how lovely to see you.
Thank you, dear. Good morning, Mr. Templar.
Miss Warshed?
Is your car all right now?
Oh, it will be as soon as Charlie Butterworth sobers up.
Oh, poor Charlie. He really is an excellent mechanic. After all, one doesn't have triplets every day, does one?
Thank goodness.
Kathleen, dear, don't you sometimes collect a lot of rents on a Saturday?
Yes, sometimes. Why?
Well, I wonder if you'd do me a terrific favor. You see, I just got the chance of buying a really lovely Regency commode, but the people won't sell except for cash, because all the banks are shut.
Yes, of course. How much?
£50, I'm afraid.
I haven't got that much.
I can.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Templar, but I wouldn't dream of asking.
I won't run short.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, do you know a Mr. Alfred Poles?
Yes. Yes, he's a friend of Ida's. Oh, dear. Mr. Templar, I'm afraid you're going to have to lend me your... Oh, thank you so much.
Flo?
We just talked to Charlie Butterworth.
But the nurse said between 2 and 4.
Oh, but this is for Charlie. Chicken and ham, poor man, he must eat.
Judging by the celebration last night, I doubt if Charlie will be hungry.
Oh, some aren't, some aren't. I know when I got sloshed, I could always eat.
Ida, please.
Somebody's coming.
Oh, it'll be Poles. You better go out by the back way.
Out the back way, that's a very good idea.
Go on, go on.
Bye-bye, Flo.
George. George. But Poles is due at any moment.
Oh, dear.
Supposing they meet.
We must stop George.
Stop me from what? Morning, girls.
Morning, George.
Stop me from what?
Oh, nothing, nothing. Excuse us, we're just off to Charlie Butterworth.
We must fly.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye, George.
Bye. What am I to be stopped from doing? Proposing to again? Look, if my attention suddenly becomes so embarrassing...
Of course not, George.
Then what is it? I mean, Ida and Violet shot out like a couple of guided missiles.
Well, they're in a hurry.
Flo, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, perhaps I could help.
It's nothing, George, honestly. Please don't bother about it.
I don't care. I may be a fool, but I do happen to love you. I know damn well something's wrong. And as your friend, and certainly as a lawyer for 10 years, I think I might be
There
able...
is nothing wrong and nothing that I need any help with.
I'm sorry. I don't believe you.
Oh, will you please stop pestering me? I'm sorry, George. I didn't mean... Excuse me. Good morning, Mr. Price. How kind of you to call. That tap simply won't stop dripping. Plunk, plunk, plunk all night long. It's driving us all mad. There's somebody in the sitting room. My lawyer. I couldn't let him see you. He's suspicious already.
Well, he'd better not stay suspicious or your game's up.
And yours.
Where's the money? What's the matter?
I've left it in the sitting room.
Well, get it.
But what can I say?
I'm supposed to be the plumber, so you're paying me. Or do you want me to get it?
No. No, you better wait here.
Who is it?
It's the plumber. We've got a leaky tap.
A plumber? On a Sunday?
Yes, he's awfully obliging.
Nice new fibers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll need some more in a day or two. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at a house that's for sale. £5,600.
Not here in the village.
Even better. Just up the road. Lookout Cottage. I've only seen it from the outside, but I think you'll like it.
Freddie, please, you don't need to live round here. There are lots of other places.
Well, I like to be near my friends.
Well, you must go now. I can't keep Commander Marsh waiting.
Okay, but if I like this house, I'm going to buy it. So you'd better have a cheque for £6,000 ready for me in a day or so.
What?
There'll be legal fees, duty. 6,000 should cover it.
All right, you please go now. No, not that way. Out of the back way.
Oh, tradesman's entrance. Well, that's out too. See ya.
I'm sorry to have been so long, George. Apparently, all we needed was a new washer.
You call in a plumber to replace a washer on Sunday.
I told you, he's very cooperative.
Obliging was the word you used.
Why, George, I do believe you're jealous.
It is possible.
Anyone would think I got a lover or something.
Well, have you?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Then what was in the envelope you came back for?
Oh, that was just my check in payment of his last bill.
Oh, how unusual for you. You always pay your bills so promptly. Flo, why are you lying to me?
I am not lying to you. And I resent being cross-questioned in my own house. You're not in a courtroom now, you know. Would you please go away and leave me alone?
You don't have to shout at me.
All right. But you keep on and on at me. I'm absolutely sick of it. Just go away and leave me alone.
Well, if that's what you want,
Yes, George. That is what I want.
right. But Flo, if somebody is bothering you, anybody at all, if I find out who it is, I'll break his neck. Goodbye.
Goodbye, George.
Telegram, Mr. Templar.
Thank you.
Any reply, sir?
No, thank you. In this case, no reply is necessary.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. How's the house hunting going, Mr. Bowles?
Oh, very well, thank you. Waiter, double brandy, please.
You inspect Lookout Cottage?
Yes, it's charming.
Gonna buy it?
Well, I think so.
Bit large for one person, isn't it?
Well, I like plenty of room.
What made you decide to live in Boston Village?
Well, I'm fond of boating. And I like Sussex.
Really, how interesting.
7 shillings, please, sir. Will be nothing less than a fiver, sir.
No, I'm sorry.
Allow me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
There's 7 shillings out of a pound, sir.
Thank you. Well.
Something wrong?
Yes, the serial number on your fiver. It's consecutive with the ones in my wallet.
Really?
Yes, really, and I think that needs a little explaining.
Take your hand off my arm! Who the blazes do you think you're pushing around?
Why didn't you call the police? I'll tell you why. Remember those photographs you handled in Kathleen Howard's office this morning? Well, I hired a car and had them sent up to a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to be checked for prints. He just sent me a telegram.
All right. So I've served time. I'm not wanted for anything now.
Not yet, you're not. But you've been a very busy boy in the past, haven't you? Freddie Weeks, alias Frederick Walsh, alias Frederick Poe, currently known as Alfred Poes. Fraud, 3 years, 1940. Fraud, 7 years, 1953. And now you've dug something up on the Warshed sisters.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about blackmail, which I rate as the filthiest crime in the book.
I'm not blackmailing anybody. I give you my word.
But you can start by giving me your wallet.
Why?
Because I want it.
What for?
The fiver I changed for you downstairs is one of the 10 I gave Florence Warshed this morning. I want to see the rest. Still waiting for the wallet. I thought so.
She cashed a check for me this afternoon.
Well, I just uncashed it. You can start packing, Freddie. You're leaving town.
Listen, Templar, this is a gold mine. The Warshed girls aren't sisters at all. And a little over 19 years
You
ago...
listen to me, Freddie. You needn't start emptying your garbage pail mine for my benefit. I'm not interested. Whatever the Warshed girls did in the past, they've lived down, and I don't want to know the dirty details. They're loved in this town, and they're happy here. And no dirty, sewer-minded little creep like you is going to blackmail them, you understand? And I don't... Do you understand? Yes! Now, pack! And if you're in town by midday tomorrow, I'll come back and give you another cha-cha lesson. The breakages are on me.
But Simon, how could you possibly have known he'd been in prison?
My sixth sense about the ungodly.
Well, I'd never have guessed in a million years.
Kathleen, a man could come to this town straight from Dartmoor, pass himself off as a Bible salesman, and nobody would ask him to name the 4 Gospels.
Yes, but what do you suppose he's got on the Warshed sisters?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care, do you?
Of course not.
Whatever it is, they've lived it down. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, completely.
Good morning, Freddie. On your way?
Yes.
Good. I can go sailing with a relaxed mind. Meet me for dinner?
I'd love to.
£10,000, and I leave you alone for good.
But that means we should have to sell securities.
And that takes time.
Well, you can have today and tomorrow. Talk to your banker, but get it. I have to be out of here by tomorrow night.
Why?
Never mind why, just get it. Oh, and I need a bedroom.
You're going to sleep here?
Yes, I'm going to sleep here.
But we haven't got a spare bedroom.
You can move in with her.
But Freddie...
It's the bed I want, not you. And since I won't be leaving the house, get me 2 bottles of whiskey and some cigarettes. Are you expecting anybody?
No. No, but people often drop in.
Well, whoever it is, get rid of them.
Good morning, Aunt Flo. Hope I'm not too early.
I'm sorry, Kathleen, they were busy.
But you said if I dropped by, we could discuss the decorations for the bazaar.
Well, we're just turning out the kitchen. I can't ask you in there. I'm much too busy to talk. Some other time, dear. Oh, hello, Joe. This is Florence Warshed.
Good morning, Miss Warshed. What can I do for you?
Could you send up 2 bottles of whiskey, please?
Whiskey? Well, of course, Miss Warshed. Any particular brand?
Oh, no, I don't care. Any brand you like. And 100 cigarettes, please.
Right you are, Miss Warshed. Be up in an hour.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Simon, I just don't understand it. Flo is such a darling. And usually she has all the time in the world for everyone and everything. And the bazaar, well, that's just about the most important event in her calendar. In fact, the Warshed sisters are the bazaar.
She just shut the door in your face?
Yes, she seems so strange. It's been bothering me all day.
Did you get a glimpse of friend Pose by any chance?
No?
Well, I think I'll go and pay them a visit. Otherwise, it'll be bothering me all night. Wait for me here,
Freddie, please, you wake up the entire neighborhood.
Why, it's only 10 o'clock.
What do you want?
Well, this is empty. I want a drink.
We've had 2 bottles of whiskey. The only thing left is some sherry.
Where is it?
It's in the cupboard in the sitting room.
Right.
Freddie, what happened? Well, he fell. But how? Well, he tripped. He's dead.
No.
He can't be.
He is. I think he must have broken his neck.
Flo, what are we going to do?
He can't be dead just falling downstairs.
But I tell you, he is. Who's going to believe us when we say that he fell down the stairs? Who's going to believe us when they know the real reason why he came here?
Flo, what can we do?
Find out who it is.
Who is it?
Simon Templar.
It's Simon Templar. You'd better come in. He'll know what to do. But go on.
Miss Warshed, I'm sorry to come around. All right, how did it happen?
He fell.
He was intoxicated.
It was an accident.
You see, Mr. Templar, he was blackmailing us a long time ago.
Yes, I knew he was blackmailing you.
He said he'd leave us alone if we gave him £10,000. Well, we couldn't get the money straight away. And so he got all his things and said he was going to stay here until we did get it. Then he got very drunk. 2 bottles of whiskey since before lunch.
And he fell downstairs.
I give you my word of honor. It was accidental.
I believe you. By the time the police are finished with this, whatever Pose was blackmailing you for will be public property. That's our problem. Keep the story from getting out.
But how?
Well, we must think of another reason for him being here. Yes, he came to rob you. You were asleep, you heard a crash, you came out, you found him dead. You called the police.
But will it work?
We'll make it work. Get his jacket and tie.
All right, come on.
The rest of his things upstairs?
Yes.
Put them in a suitcase, bring them down, and bring me his shoes.
Very well.
Put those down there. I'll get the jacket and tie them in a minute. Oh, this is just a precaution. He walked upstairs in his muddy shoes, but didn't walk down. Well, Flo, where'd you keep your jewelry?
It's in that room.
All right, come with me, will you?
Yes.
Take this jewelry and stuff it in his jacket pockets.
Oh, no. I think I'm going to faint.
Don't you dare.
There isn't time. You get rid of all the cigarette ends in the house and wash out the ashtrays. You, ma'am, wipe down all the furniture. When I've got him dressed, I'm going to take his suitcase down to the end of the pier and dump it. Then I'll stop by later as if I just happened to be passing by. When I've gone, I want you to call the police and George Marsh.
George?
Yes, Flo. Because if this doesn't work, you're really going to need a lawyer.
Seems open and shut, this one, sir. Uses his friendship to case the layout, breaks in, steals the jewelry, starts downstairs, slips, falls down, breaks neck. Not surprising either, sir. He certainly stank of drink.
Yeah. You'll let me know about the inquest, won't you?
I certainly will, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Oh, good night, Mr. Templar, and thank you very much for your help.
Be my pleasure. Good night, Sergeant.
Night, sir.
Anything else I can do?
Yeah. You can talk. You coming? And now, ladies, as your lawyer and your very good friend, I'd like the truth, please.
Oh, okay. The truth?
Yes, Flo. Joe Tracy told me that you'd telephoned him and that you had ordered 2 bottles of scotch and 100 cigarettes. Now, since you don't drink whiskey and you don't smoke, I'd like to know why.
Oh, dear.
Commander...
Now, just a minute. I'd like Flo to answer my question.
George, I can't.
Poles wasn't even a friend of yours, was he?
No. He was blackmailing us.
Blackmailing you? But why? 3 gentle ladies.
Commander, allow me. Ethel Scott. Edith Cooper. Jean Bentz.
You knew?
Yes, the day you smashed in my headlamp, I knew your face rang a bell from somewhere. I finally remembered 2 years ago I did some research on art thefts.
Look, will somebody explain all this to me?
Tell him, Flo.
Might as well.
Well, 17 years ago, there was a Delacroix cartoon stolen from the National Gallery.
It was called An Arab Praying.
We stole it.
You what?
Stole it.
Oh, look. Am I supposed to take this sort of thing seriously?
Oh, yes, it's quite true.
We were a team.
It was a jolly good job, actually. Quite easy. And no wonder they got away with the Goya. You see, George, I worked there.
You worked at the National Gallery?
Yes, as a secretary.
And I was secretary to the head of the firm who supplied the National Gallery with the burglar alarms.
And I worked with an art dealer.
So you see, it all fitted in. Most exciting.
Oh, especially the bit about the burglar alarms.
You wouldn't cut it?
Well, I was terrified I'd get a shock.
You were terrified.
Now,
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, the cartoon was in the gallery workshop being cleaned. And we stole it.
You are asking me to believe that you 3 are burglars?
Yes, George.
Only once.
oh, we're not professionals.
Just successful.
After we stole it, Ida got in touch with a terribly rich collector.
An American.
From Texas.
And he paid us $300,000 for it.
And it was a bargain.
Oh, I know. I typed the insurance form. It was worth twice that.
And you kept the money?
Oh, yes. That's how we live so well.
And help people.
Exactly.
Of course, they got the cartoon back.
When the man died,
The FBI found it in his home in Texas.
And then they forwarded it back to the National Gallery.
so everyone was happy.
You see, George, we were caught.
You were caught?
Yes. They didn't get the money, but they got us.
We were taken to Holloway Prison.
For 10 years.
With time off for good behavior.
And then we came here and settled down.
Well, what gave you the idea of stealing the cartoon in the first place?
Oh, that was where Freddie came in.
Yes, it was his idea.
We helped him,
Yes, and then we gave him his share of the loot.
but he spent it
And then he started to look for us.
and found us.
And blackmailed you?
Yes. George, we have tried to help people with money. And on my word of honor, we've never stolen anything since.
Oh, never.
And we have paid our debt to society.
For stealing the picture?
And George, I swear we didn't kill Poles.
No, it was an accident.
He was intoxicated and fell down the stairs.
Commander Marsh, I think it's fairly obvious that no crime has been committed here.
No, there hasn't, George.
Do you believe us, George?
You won't tell on us, will you?
I most certainly will.
George!
Commander,
You can't mean it.
I'm turning the 3 of you over to the police.
Come on, can't you just forget the incident?
And be fair.
And generous.
And sympathetic.
All right. I'm prepared to forget the incident. On one condition.
A toast to the beautiful bride and the handsome groom, and may God bless them both.
Have I blackmailed you into this?
No, darling. Honestly.
Come on, let's go and do some of that ourselves. Hmm?